But they're very similar, yeah. Syriac,
But for
Aramaic,
example,
Hebrew.
if we like see manuscript on Aramaic, also, you can understand it too.
Really? Okay.
You don't have an issue with that. So it's not like an ambiguous language. You don't want to say.
Sorry, you said Syria. Is this Bible manuscripts or what is this about?
Or just about the language, Syriac language.
Oh, okay. In the context of like Christianity or anything?
Yeah, we were talking about the Bible, Syriac Bible.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah. I'm just interested in what that's about.
I mean,
because I'm a Christian, so.
Oh, okay. So we were talking about the latest known, or the Bible that exists nowadays.
Oh, manuscripts.
Yeah, latest manuscript.
No, makes sense.
Yeah, so the latest one that Christian have, like, they 500 years after Jesus. Yeah, that's what.
So I think, like, for me, the way that we can establish what doctrine would have been around at the time of Jesus is actually through the church fathers. Yeah. Because what we can do is we can have like a chain that goes from Jesus to John, and like because John was one of the witnesses to Jesus, and then through him, we have those disciples, and they wrote about Jesus, and they wrote what they believed, and we have those writings.
So you're basically saying from we know, so just same way we know like Jesus exists, we know that previous Bible exists, but we don't know their content.
What I'm saying is we can find out what their beliefs were through their writings of the companions.
Like the Peshitta Bible, we know that there's some saying that this Peshitta Bible existed, but we can't say what's its content.
This Aramaic is a translation, isn't it? It's not. What's it a translation?
Yeah, they say
from?
that it's a Syriac Peshitta Bible that existed. But sorry, is it a translation of an earlier Bible, like a Greek or a Hebrew Bible? I mean, it doesn't exist today, nowadays. There's no physical.
I see.
Yeah,
because the original Hebrew Bible is obviously in Hebrew. It's not in Aramaic, apart from the bits of Daniel. And the New Testament's in Greek, not in Aramaic. So it doesn't exist today. Okay, so this is,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the original Moses didn't speak Aramaic.
Of course.
So and Jesus did, but we don't have his words. We only have the Greek translation from much later. So.
Yeah, but translations can accurately describe someone's words, so translation is fine. So in the same sense that if the writings of the Bible were in Greek, say for the New Testament, we will be able to know from those who were closest to the actual like apostles, we can know from their writings specifically what they thought that Bible was, right? Because they're writing in the same language as well.
But it won't be accurate. There's speculation and there's some saying, since we don't have the original one.
Well, we don't have the original of anything. You probably really shouldn't expect the original of
a library
anything.
of books written by many different people over 1,000 years. So we don't have any original manuscripts of anything in the Bible at all. We have nothing.
Yeah, and the same for the Quran.
And some of the
religious scriptures.
We do have manuscripts that go back to the time of the prophets.
No, they predate him. They also predate the Uthmanic period, which means that they're not possible to have been written from that period.
We have from University of Birmingham, as mentioned, Professor Thomas, who I interviewed, said his view. He's the head of department at University of Birmingham. It's actually a Christian, actually, just like you. He said in his expert opinion that the Quran in Birmingham comes from the time of the Prophet himself, not predates, but from the time of the Prophet. But coming back to the Bible, we don't have we have a massive gap for many centuries from the events that they described and the alleged authors and the manuscripts. Many centuries gap.
We don't know who the authors are for the Quran.
So we don't know if it's reliable. In fact, because of the documentary hypothesis, which scholars have developed in the last 100 years with the Pentateuch, the Torah, we know that actually it's much later than Moses. So there's something that may go back to Moses, but we know it's not actually it's not historically from the time of Moses at all.
Well, the Quran specifically says that actually the Torah was given to Musa.
Yeah.
So you would have to assume
the original Torah, not the Torah we're talking about now.
We'd have to today.
Well, no. It was the actual, because Surah 7, Ayah 157 explicitly says the Torah that they have in their hands.
Yeah.
So it was the Torah that Muhammad had.
But also there are passages in the Quran that speak about the Quran as a muhaymin in Surah Nada, for example, which is a way it's a way of like a quality control, sorting out that which is true in the Torah and that which is false. So there's a mixture. The Quran teaches a mixture of reliable and unreliable thing in the Torah.
The Quran also, just very quickly, the Quran also says in Surah Al-Baqarah, one second and then we'll go back. One second.
No, I want to,
because you said something and I just want to address that.
I want to talk about
and that's fine, and then we'll go back to that. But just to address what you just said, Surah Al-Baqarah, in Surah 85, can I just finish this real quick? You said something, I just want to address it. And then, you already finished your point, you just made your point.
The Torah is
okay, so you're not going to address it.
I want to address my point.
Okay, you made a point, let me make my point, and then you can go back to yours.
To be by Moses. But we now know, if you actually read the Torah closely, it's full of inconsistencies and doublets. These are stories that are told several times.
The same Torah that Muhammad affirmed.
So scholars today don't believe that the Torah we have today is actually from the time of Moses. And it's the same with the Gospels. The Gospels are anonymous, we don't know who wrote them.
The Quran is anonymous, we don't know who wrote the surahs of the Quran.
Before you arrived, we're talking about the Bible.
Yeah, but my point is that you're contrasting it with Islam.
Our point,
and now I'm trying to explain to you that that's just incorrect. No, wait, why is this? Why are you taking him away?
I just want to explain something to Cameron.
Why are you taking away?
Before you came along, we were talking about the Bible.
Yeah, no, I mean we started to, and that was absolutely fine.
Will you us lead the conversation rather than you take over and tell us what we're going to be talking about?
We were literally talking about the same thing. We're talking about manuscripts.
Coming back to the Gospels. The Gospels we
have are not eyewitnesses. He only wants to talk about one thing.
Yes. Because we were having a discussion long before you arrived.
Yeah, and I mentioned the contrasting with the Quran, and you couldn't deal with that.
Christian scholars no longer think they are.
There are Christian scholars that think they are.
How do we know what... He only wants to bash Islam because he's a fundamentalist Christian. And he didn't know...
You're literally bashing Christianity. So that's literally what your conversation is.
Psychologically about the authority.
Were you aware that the Christians no longer believe the Gospels are eyewitness?
No, that's not true. There are scholars that don't believe that, but there are many Christians that do believe that. There are also scholars.
Christian scholars no longer believe.
No, not universally. No. Show me universally.
Yeah, there is some say.
Yes, there are some that say it is, and some that say it isn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you name some that say it is?
Scholars, scholars.
Can you say some that say it is?
It's interesting why they don't, because the Gospels themselves don't claim to be by eyewitnesses. They actually don't say they're by eyewitnesses. They don't even say who they are. They don't say, I am X, and I am from here, and I am writing
because
this,
it was evident to those who it was written to who they were.
They don't even say who they are, or where they were from, or when they were written, and they don't even claim to be eyewitnesses.
No, that is the Quran, again.
So, we're not talking about the Quran, we're talking about the Bible.
Yeah, but your Quran affirms my scriptures, so...
This man has an agenda wanting to...
You have an agenda, my friend. You have an agenda.
My agenda is to try and discuss...
You can't stand on... You cannot stand on your own.
Because they understood that there is no actual proof for that, for them to say that, basically.
How do you mean, sorry?
To acknowledge that it's not... that there is no... reliable source for the Bible, for the scholars that say...
We don't have the original manuscript.
You see, his religion explicitly talks about our scripture, and it affirms it.
I mean, that's basically a fact. You know that some scholars, some Christian scholars acknowledge that.
Do you have a chat?
Anyway, do you
have a chat?
Not with you.
Of course you won't.
I've had bad experience with him.
No, it's because he wants to isolate you. That's what he wants to do. This is called preying on people who are new to the park. That's what this is. That's what it is. This is what it is. You could have just had a conversation with us. But see, he wants to portray one thing, and he doesn't want you to hear another perspective. I just want to make sure you had a different perspective.
We were having a discussion way before that. You've been a bit degenerate, basically.
No, I was just coming in and having a conversation.
Bro, dude, if you chat away from the troublemaker.
I'm a troublemaker. All right, so Quran is like can't do. All right. Wow. Literally ran away. Oh. Ran off.
Ran off again.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to talk with you. Do you want to do a quick wrap up? Alright, well, I tried to have a conversation with Paul Williams. He just doesn't want to have anything to do with any knowledgeable Christian at the corner anymore. Anyone who is here, who looks into Christianity, who looks into manuscripts, who looks into the historical nature of Christianity or Islam, he doesn't want to have a conversation with them. He said he wants to isolate people and just repeat his facts that he contrives himself. These are things that are just nonsense to him. He knows full well the Quran is in a much worse position than the Bible is. He knows full well no historian is going to validate the claims of the Quran, but there are historians that will validate claims in the Bible. but he will never tell you this. Instead, he gets people isolated and he wants to talk to them alone. And I think it's disingenuous. I think it's very disingenuous. He doesn't talk to debaters anymore because he's not a debater. Anyway, God bless you all. Have a great day.